Well, thank you so much for taking the time to attend and participate in the EnergyBiz Leadership Forum. And I just wanted to take a few minutes to ask you some questions about challenges and opportunities in the power industry and where things are going with the federal government. So really to start off, I mean, what are you seeing as some of the major challenges and opportunities in the power industry today?
I think the biggest challenge is uncertainty, and that's likely to be the case not just for months, could be for years. I'm not sure that this is going to finally get settled. We have on one hand the Environmental Protection Agency moving forward to regulate carbon under the Clean Air Act, and that contains all kinds of uncertainty. Year by year, we're really not going to know what the requirements are going to be. On the other hand, we're not sure whether anything's coming out of the Congress, and if so, what it's going to look like. People are increasingly saying that cap and trade is dead, and so it may be the case for legislation this year. Next year, we don't know what the Congress is going to look like and whether they will be able to reach any kind of agreement with the administration, and so we see a lot of uncertainty, and that's probably what we're going to have to live with, and that's what we're urging all of our CEOs to start planning on is an era of uncertainty and trying to maintain as much flexibility in responding to that as we can.
Now, what about the differences between investor-owned utilities, public power, cooperatives? I mean, how do you see those challenges and opportunities varying?
Well, we have different objectives, obviously. If you have investor-owned utilities, they're for profit, and they are trying to make a profit for their third-party investors. Electric cooperatives, on the other hand, are not for profit, but we're also consumer-owned. So we're very responsive to those consumers, and during these times of economic difficulty, paying the electric bill becomes foremost in everyone's mind. And that's what we're really focused on as we look at the options and choices that we have is really what is going to result in the lowest possible electric bill for our members, and at the same time enable us to deliver the power they're going to need.
Yeah. So you mentioned Congress, the administration, a lot of uncertainty out there right now. I mean, what do you see the role of the federal government in terms of public policy changes that they could be doing to assist the power industry with overcoming some of these challenges they have ahead of them?
Well, part of what we can do, I think, to remove a little bit of the uncertainty, to take some steps in the right direction that really don't have much in the way of risk from the federal government. And I think that probably is in the renewable area and efficiency area. And we're trying to work with government in determining how they can help bring that about. We have one of our state associations with all the members in that state, all the co-ops in that state, and I'm talking about South Carolina, has come up with a very innovative plan in which over the next 10 years they want to go in and do efficiency evaluations and do upgrades on efficiency for 150,000 homes in that state. Their whole focus is on how can we delay building power plants. And they've come to the conclusion that that's the way in which they can keep the electric bills the lowest for the members in that area. And we have seen some interest in the federal government about assisting in that. Obviously that works to the benefit of all those consumers and works to the benefit of avoiding building power plants, and certainly works to the benefit of trying to keep carbon emissions as low as possible. That probably is a very safe way to go. And makes a lot of sense from the standpoint of our members.
So we've talked a little bit about the federal government and I think some of the policy, and you're talking about, sounds like some of the spending side. I mean, there's been a lot going on in terms of stimulus spending and a lot of federal dollars coming out to help with the power industry. I mean, are you seeing that make a significant difference? What are you seeing with that?
Part of the difficulty, and I believe that anyone who's been involved with this from the administration would agree, is really the delivery system. You've been able to put a lot of money out available to the states, but it gets to the states and there's really no way they can really carry through with this. What we do have is, of course, we have the mechanism on the ground to make that happen. In the communities where you have electric cooperatives, and these are our members, we have a relationship that would allow us to offer that and to deliver. The plan South Carolina has is one that quite frankly, does not involve a grant, but
okay.
instead is a loan to the electric cooperative. But these would be zero interest loans, and the cooperative then would use those loans and make loans to their members. And the members then would pay back the loans through the savings, through the reduced use of electric power. So in effect, this is a way in which really doesn't have big cost to the taxpayer at all, but instead is a way in which you can get this job done. We think that this will certainly have a big impact on local communities. We have our local cooperatives who will be responsible for those loans and collecting on those loans. We have local contractors that will be doing the work of making the improvements to those homes. But no improvements will be made to any home that cannot show a savings in the electric bill. So that is one of the limitations.
Yeah.
People, I think, always assume that anytime you do an efficiency program with a home, or you go in with a new insulation, or you come in with new windows, that you have savings. That is not always the case. There are some homes, quite frankly, that you can't make any improvements to. There won't be any savings. There's just too many problems with the home. So this is all based on being able to demonstrate and prove that whatever action is taken will result in savings in that electric bill.
Wow, that sounds very exciting.
Well, I think it will be. It's a 10-year program.
Yeah.
It's one that, as I said, has got a lot of people in South Carolina excited.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us today.
Thank you for your interest.